Tonight on Coyote News, learn about the latest details involving a campus arrest, a local rape, and about the university's plans for making students more aware when it comes to sexual assaults. I'm Brent Seehofer.
And I'm Kathleen Surrey. Ramen noodles are often a staple in many college students' diet, but this quick and easy meal could be costing you more than just a couple of bucks. And we take a look at how students are making this year's bowling season special.
Plus, learn more about one of USD's record-setting athletes. First, the headlines with Delaney Schenk.
President Obama says the U.S. military will be conducting a campaign of airstrikes against the ISIS terrorist group. In a speech today, the president says trained forces will fight ISIS on the ground to cut off their financing and stop the flow of fighters into and out of the region. Over 40 nations have offered to join U.S. efforts in the coalition. Obama says that there will not be U.S. boots fighting on the ground. India's Mars Orbiter spacecraft entered Mars orbit this morning. They're the first nation to arrive successfully on its first attempt and the first Asian country to reach Mars. The United States, Europe, and the Soviet Union are the only other countries to have sent spacecrafts to the Red Planet. But India reached their goal with a significantly less amount of money. They only spent $74 million compared to NASA's $671 million. The spacecraft's optimal design not only cuts costs, but made history. And those are your headlines.
Vermilion police arrested a USD student twice before he withdrew from the university. Daniel Hammer was arrested for filming females in resident hall showers and an off-campus rape. Coyote News' Erica Arpan is live in the Al Newharth Media Center with Volant reporter Braylee Dodson. Erica?
Thanks, Kathleen, and thanks for being with us, Braylee. Now, I know that you and the Volant have been investigating this story. Can you give us more details on the case?
From what we received from court documents, on the 28th of August, Daniel Hammer was arrested for taking video of girls in the showers on 4th floor Mickelson without their consent. From what we found out, he was removed from campus immediately, and then 2 days later, he was arrested for third-degree rape.
Okay, and how did the university respond?
From what we found out, the student was removed from campus, but students were not alerted to what had happened. Many students on the floor were left asking questions, where's the video? Are we in the video?
Okay, and I know the incident happened a couple of weeks ago. What is going on with the case right now?
With the case right now, it looks like he's scheduled to be in court at the end of October. He was in jail on a bond of $70,000, but it looks like he is now out of jail.
Okay, thank you so much. As the Volant and Coyote News get more updates, we will continue to update you guys. Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, I'm Erica Arpan.
Thanks, Erica. With several recent high-profile assaults in the news, abuse prevention is a trending topic. USD is joining in the efforts by requiring students to complete a mandatory online training course. Through a partnership with the Everfi Haven system, the training's purpose is to bring awareness to the issue of sexual assaults on college campuses. Coyote News' Megan Card is live in the Al Newharth Media Center with Dean of Students Kim Grieve to talk about sexual assaults and what steps USD is taking following the latest incidents. Megan?
Thanks, Brent. As national dialogue increases on how to prevent sexual assault on college campuses, I'm here today with Dr. Grieve to talk about what USD is doing to keep students safe. Dr. Grieve, with the new implementation of the Sexual Assault Prevention Awareness Program, how are students' perceptions being changed by this program?
Yeah, federal law now requires that all students go through training as well as faculty and staff. So the online Haven training gives them an opportunity to get the information they need about policy and procedure, as well as talk a little bit about bystander training.
And is it supposed to open up kind of communication lines between the university and students?
Yeah, and this is just a beginning. So the federal law requires that we do these activities at orientation, but also throughout the year. So we just had a speaker Monday night as well that talked about the prevention of sexual assault too.
So talking about students, keeping students informed, why did the university wait 12 days to inform the students at the residence hall about the videotaping in the showers?
Right, so we never send out information unless it's a threat to the entire community, and that's a call that's done by the University Police Department, and we had the suspect, and so we didn't send out a text message because it was no longer a threat to all the students.
Thank you. That was Dr. Kim Grieve talking about how USD is evolving its sexual assault policies. Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, I'm Megan Card.
Thanks, Megan. Coming up after the break, find out how students can earn rewards for attending campus events. But first, learn how you can get a free sweet treat in the muck every week. Stay with us.
What made you pair up with the sound to show your school spirit?
Go for the up and under, and that one will fall forward.
91.1 Coyote Radio.
Technology is growing, and more people use multiple technology devices daily. Due to the number of laptops, tablets, and smartphones at USD, some students are having trouble connecting to the internet. This semester, there are over 11,000 devices registered at USD, up 20% from last semester. The average college student in the United States owns four technological devices.
And with technology acting as a centerpiece for many classes, being unable to connect to the internet is causing some frustration for people on USD's campus.
Now, hear about what students have to say about the Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi has its ups and downs. I mean, it could definitely improve, but there's a lot of students here trying to use it, so I guess take it for what it is.
I still think it can use a lot more work, especially with the amount of students we have on campus now and the amount of students we're predicting in the future.
I think that it's pretty good and it's nice that it's all over, but sometimes it's hard to connect.
For the most part, it's fine. Whatever.
I wish it was quite a bit better, but I know there are technical limitations.
It kind of depends on what building you're in to where it's working, because it'll be times where I'll try getting on and it just won't work and I'm in class and I'll freak out, but then it works in my room, so it's all right.
For the most part, it works pretty good. I've been having a little trouble logging on lately, but other than that, it's been okay, kind of slow at sometimes.
In the dorms, it's pretty reliable, but in the center part of the muck, especially when a lot of people are here, I have a lot of trouble connecting to it, and it's kind of a pain.
I think it's very nice, especially in the library.
I feel like it could be improved, but it's not the biggest issue with our campus that needs to be addressed.
With comedians, open mic nights, and movie showings, there are a lot of campus events for students to take part in. Now, students can get rewards for attending these events through the Paw Points program. By swiping their university IDs, students can earn points for going to activities like sporting events and concerts. Lindsay Sparks is with Student Services, and she says Paw Points isn't just a fun way to get students involved.
And on the back end, it gives us this really nice set of data that shows how many students have come to different events, how many events we've had, how much money we've spent, and then in the end, how much money per student did we spend throughout the semester.
With the Paw Points program, students can earn rewards such as coyote gear and even food.
It's about rewarding students for supporting their campus community and their fellow coyotes, and I think that's really important.
Sparks says every event on the fall programming calendar is worth Paw Points. If you'd like to learn about upcoming activities and see what students are leading the race, follow the link at the bottom of your screen.
Each Tuesday afternoon, USD students, faculty, and staff can enjoy the popular combination of ice cream and root beer for free. Yote Floats offers more than just a sweet treat. USD student organizations can take part in serving at this event each week. Maggie Laudenschlager, president of the
A lot of people on campus don't know that there's pre-professional clubs here at USD, so we're doing Yote Floats today to kind of get our name out there and increase our attendance at meetings.
Students can get a root beer float or just a cup of ice cream. Organizations working this event are encouraged to set up a table, do activities, or bring displays to support their group. Stop by the Muck Pit Lounge and pick up a Yote float every Tuesday afternoon from 3 to 4.
Coming up next, find out which college campus could be detrimental to your health. And plus, hear what SGA President Tyler Tortson has to say about early closing times for campus dining options.
On this week's Yote Report, Nicole Griffith takes us to the bowling alley, where you can bowl to win, bowl for fun, or, as one group does, bowl for a cause.
Local Special Olympic athletes have been practicing for a few weeks alongside Unified Partners. These partners are members from the community, and most of them are USD students. Joe Barth is the Special Olympics coordinator for CESDAC, which is a local agency that provides services to allow people with varying needs to live in a community setting.
The whole purpose of Unified Bowling or Unified Volunteers is to help break that stereotype about people, regarding people with disabilities as being, helpless and, away from society. This is to break that stereotype and build relationships.
Unified partner Jackson Yates has been building relationships through Special Olympics for almost 3 years.
They're just happy for you to be there, and they're just happy that they're even playing the sport and can show their skills expressed in the sport. And it's just one of the best experiences when you see the smile on their face and you get the reward for being there.
Yates plans on helping with Special Olympics throughout the rest of his college career. He also encourages USD students to get involved.
If you're interested in being a unified partner with Special Olympics, they have basketball, softball, track and field, and bowling that you can all be a part of. You can contact CESDAC for more information.
For the Yote Report, I'm Nicole Griffith.
The Special Olympics bowling team practices on Monday, Friday, and Sunday evenings.
Ramen noodles are an inexpensive product for any college student, but according to the Washington Post, they may be detrimental to heart health. USD performance specialist Andrea Cota says students should think twice before eating ramen noodles.
So a lot of the problems with having too much sodium in your diet is, one, over time it's going to put you at an increased risk for heart disease and things like that, especially if you have a predetermined risk for heart disease in your family.
Although ramen is quick and easy to make on a college budget, Cota says there are healthy alternatives.
So if you're looking for something that's noodle-based, I always just say, what about normal spaghetti? If you get a whole wheat noodle, that's better than fried ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are so cheap that it's hard to say that this compares, but at the same time, if you average it out and you can make a whole batch of spaghetti, that's probably going to feed you for a few meals.
Cota also says healthy diet can help students' academic performance.
Student Government President Tyler Tordson is making sure Aramark is aware of complaints about campus dining hours. Most dining options in the marketplace area close for dinner, and every option except for U-Brew closes at 7. Aramark sets dining hours, but SGA senators want students to have a
I've
say.
actually had conversations with them about not just the 5 to 7 dinner time period or everything closing at 7 o'clock. So they are planning on doing a late night option, like a 9, 10, 11 o'clock kind of option, which is what Papa John's was going to be and what Papa John's is going to be once it gets open.
Papa John's is scheduled to open in the spring of 2015. Tordson says the director of Aramark, Adam Shequin, originally believed demand was too low to warrant longer dining hours. Shequin did not respond to a request for an interview. On this week's Coyote blog, Coyote News' Abby Pierce says to go out and join a new organization.
I was looking at my planner the other day, like I do every day, and realized we're already a month into the semester. It just seems crazy that we've already been in these classes for a month, and I'm not paying attention. Just kidding, but it has gone by fast. My question for all of you is, what have you done in the last month other than attend classes? If your answer is nothing really, you should look into getting involved on campus. It's not too late to look for organizations and activities that you might enjoy. In my experience here so far, I've found that the times I go outside of my usual activities are the times I find myself having the most fun. For example, going out on a whim and auditioning for Coyote News, even though I wasn't a journalism major. Yet. This year I've really gone outside of my comfort zone and I'm playing flag football. And let me tell you, I am not an athlete, but I'm having a blast. Focusing on classes and studying is important, but I honestly think that being involved in organizations and activities on campus will make your college experience even that much more memorable and successful. These days, good grades aren't always enough to make you a valuable employee or applicant. So my advice for you is get out there, go become a well-rounded person and make some new friends and memories along the way. You probably won't regret going to a group's informational meeting, even if you come to find out that it's not for you, but you might look back and wish you tried more things. So go seize the day. For Coyote Blog, I'm Abby Pierce.
Thanks, Abby. Coming up after the break, a look at one of USD's record-setting athletes. And sports commentator Grant Boziacki talks about the Coyote football team's home game win. Stay with us.
Coyote News, Wednesday, live at 5.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the football team defeats a nationally ranked FCS team, and the volleyball team wins 2 of their 3 matches in Nebraska. I'm Charlie Daldorf.
And I'm Jackie Hendry. A Coyote soccer player leads the conference in goals scored so far this season, and sports commentator Grant Boziacki gives his thoughts on how the football team held on for the victory last week. First, the headlines. Delaney?
NASCAR driver Tony Stewart won't face any criminal charges for the death of Kevin Ward Jr. Back in August, Ward left his car during a sprint car race and was hit by Stewart. A toxicology report shows that Ward was under the influence of marijuana at the time of his death. The Minnesota Vikings will have a new quarterback next Sunday. Matt Castle was placed on the injured reserve list this morning after breaking several bones in his foot against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. Teddy Bridgewater will make his first official start this Sunday as the team takes on the Atlanta Falcons. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw will take the mound tonight as the Dodgers host division rival San Francisco Giants. Kershaw, in the midst of a historic season, will be looking for his league-leading 21st win. Kershaw leads the league with a 1.8 earned run average. A win for the Giants and loss by the Brewers tonight would clinch the National League wildcard for the Giants. And those are your headlines.
Last season, she was collecting trophies, and now she's breaking records. Coyote News' Sydney Mook talked with volleyball player Kendall Crittenbrink about her 2014 season.
Last season, Kendall Crittenbrink was Summit League Player of the Year and received an honorable mention on the D1 All-American team. This season, the outside hitter's already broken the record for all-time kills. However, Crittenbrink says she's more concerned about winning than breaking records.
Honestly, it's just really exciting. It's a big honor, but I don't really focus on it too much. I just try and continue to play every day and just do what I need to do to help the team.
Crittenbrink spent the summer playing with the U.S. Collegiate National Team. She says that the experience helped her prepare for senior year.
I'm honored to be a part there, to be a part of that team. Just showed me a lot of my strengths and weaknesses and what I needed to carry over into this season as a senior.
Head coach Leanne Williamson has watched Crittenbrink grow since freshman year, and she says that her determination to win is what makes her a special player.
She came in as a competitor, and she's going to leave here as a competitor. And, you know, that's really what makes her special, is she wants to win day in and day out, whether it's practice or whether it's a game.
Following her senior year, Crittenbrink plans on playing overseas and eventually teaching. For Coyote News, I'm Sydney Mook.
USD defeated Creighton and Colorado last week at the Creighton Classic. Crittenbrink and libero Riley Haug were named to the All-State Tournament team. Haug was also named Summit League Defensive Player of the Week. The team will kick off their conference schedule this weekend as they host North Dakota State and Oral Roberts.
USD golfer Jordan Rykall led the Coyotes with a first-place finish, and Sam Matthew took second at the Jackrabbit Fall Invite yesterday. Rykall shot .212 over the 3 days to beat Matthew by a stroke. They led the men's team to a first-place finish overall. Brenna Lervik led the women with a 12th-place finish. Abby Dufresne finished in 14th. As a team, USD finished 4th place. Both the men's and women's teams will host the South Dakota Coyote Classic Monday and Tuesday. They'll be competing at the Dakota Dunes Country Club. The USD women's soccer team notched their 6th win of the season and 4th shutout last Sunday after defeating Northern Iowa 2-0. The Coyotes had goals by Colleen Reeves and Taylor Navala, who scored her 8th goal of the season. Navala currently leads the Summit League in goals scored this season. The team is now 6-4 on the year and plays at Drake tonight in less than 15 minutes.
For the first time in the Joe Glenn era, the Coyotes football team beat a ranked opponent at home last Saturday by beating the 22nd ranked Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. The Oats got off to a hot start with this diving pick by Steve Tlefson and scored 6 plays later to make it 7-0. It didn't stop there. Sean Breedle showed his athleticism with an interception on the very next drive. Ryan Sager punched it in from 1 yard out for his 2nd rushing TD of the day. The Oats went to halftime with a 20-0 lead, but the Lumberjacks would storm back to make it a 6-point game and were led by wide receiver Ifya Modu, who had 152 yards and this circus catch. But the Coyotes put it out of reach with a 9-yard touchdown catch by Eric Schuford Jr. in the 4th quarter. They would win 28-21. The Yotes are now 500 on the season and 2-2. They have their bye week this week before conference play kicks off when they face Southern Illinois next week. In this week's sports commentary, Grant Boziacki talks about the Coyotes' big win on the football field last week.
First off, congratulations to defensive end Drew Iddings for winning the Missouri Valley Defensive Player of the Week and offensive lineman Niall Banks for winning the conference's Newcomer of the Week. Now let's talk about the entire football team, and wow, what a momentum-building win that was for the Coyotes heading into this week's bye. Not only are the Coyotes getting some much-needed rest during this bye week, but after speaking to some players, they're definitely more confident right now than they've ever been. And what was most impressive about USD's victory was the fashion in which they did it. They jumped right out of the gates to a quick lead that ran all the way up to 20-0 at halftime, and then withstood a vicious comeback by the ranked Northern Arizona Lumberjacks, and then sealed it with a vintage "my offensive line is better than your defensive line" punch you right in the mouth final drive consisting of 7 straight runs, which eventually ran the clock out. Now, what I liked most was the team showed some real character. It's no secret that this team couldn't hold a lead last year if it meant hitting the jackpot in the lottery. But the majority of these guys were the guys in the field the past few years that took the bruises and finally said, enough is enough. Now, one win like this isn't going to mean much if it doesn't carry over and result in more W's, but it was awfully encouraging, and it was exactly what was needed heading into this 8-round heavyweight boxing matchup known as the Missouri Football Conference. For Coyote Sports, I'm Grant Boziacki.
Thanks, Grant. After the break, USD has a new quarterback, but would you be able to recognize him off the field? Find out what students had to say.
Spain is known for many things. It's food, it's dancing, it's bullfighting, and fiesta.
Sometimes the classroom just isn't enough. Step outside the classroom. Experience what it's like to go snorkeling in the Atlantic or ride a camel in Morocco. With the Global Learning Program at USD, you can earn credits taking the trip of a lifetime overseas. Experience what you're missing. Experience global learning.
The university hosts many events throughout the school year for all students to attend.
On this week's Out and About, we asked students if they participate in campus activities.
Well, I think the participation is rather low, unfortunately, and I'm not completely sure why. Partially, I think it's because everybody's very busy and they're in multiple organizations, so they're just spread thin, and it's hard to get to each activity. And sometimes I think that life just really gets in the way.
Football games, yeah, there's a lot of people, but at like basketball games, there's barely anybody there, but I think it could be improved.
I'm sure it's nice. I'm just not too involved myself, I guess. I know I'm doing Dakotathon this year, though. My brother's making me, so.
For the games, people stay like half the game, and then they leave. I think we could stay for longer. Other than that, for other events, they go to like the first one, and then they just stop going.
Participation could be better. I personally think that there's a lot of Greek involvement to where like you see a lot of them because they're told to go do it, whereas other kids are just like either don't hear about something like a cab event that's going on, or they just don't feel like going and doing anything. They'd rather just stay at home, play video games, study, whatever.
In the first game of the season, the USD football team lost their starting quarterback, Kevin Earl, following a hand injury. Now backup Ryan Sager has taken his place.
Most people would recognize Sager on the field with his helmet and number 2 jersey on, but would you recognize him without them?
How do you think the team's doing so far this year?
Sounds good. I think, what are they? They've won 2.
Yeah, we're
what's their
2-2, I think they are, right?
2 and 2? Yeah.
So.
Not bad.
They look good. It was fun to watch. It was a fun atmosphere being in the dome, and being a freshman, kind of having that my first time experiencing it was really fun.
They looked pretty good. We looked kind of young. Our run, to be honest with you, our rush defense that game was not very good.
I think they're doing a great job, and I definitely think there's more crowd participation this year than last year. So
the team did excellent. It was great to see them knock down somebody who was ranked, and might I say Trevor Balma, the flow, just steamrolling people.
Is Trevor your favorite player?
Absolutely.
Because of the flow?
Well, basically, yeah.
Yeah, this flow's pretty popular around campus here. Have you been to any of the football games this year?
Not yet.
Not yet. Why is that?
Just been busy, leaving town.
yeah, I've been to all the home ones.
I have. I was at the first one.
And you have been to a football game before. It wasn't this year, but
I haven't gone yet this year. I've had other commitments on Saturdays.
Because I don't have a lot of school spirit.
we're lacking school spirit here at USD. The starting quarterback went down in the first game. How do you think the backup's doing so far?
I think he's doing well. We've got 2 wins with him, so that's pretty good, and that's halfway to what we got last year. So
Pretty well so far. As I said, I haven't seen much of the games yet, but from what I'm hearing, he seems like he'll a good replacement.
All right, awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. I'm Ryan. I'm the backup quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Think so?
I thought, yeah.
I like that answer. I'm Ryan Sager. I'm the backup quarterback. Thank you. Yep. Thanks for answering.
Oh.
Thanks for helping us out.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day. The starting quarterback went down the first game. I don't know if you heard about that, but how do you think the backup's doing so far?
He looked good. I mean, I wasn't at the last game, but I'm hearing good things. Hoping Earl has a speedy recovery because, I mean, he's obviously our starting quarterback for a reason. But, I mean, the team now, he looks fine, I guess.
All right. I'm Ryan Sager. I'm the backup quarterback. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. All right. Thanks for the help.
Yeah.
2 Argentinian artists are sparking controversy after creating Ken and Barbie dolls modeled after religious figures. The artists have posted photos online featuring Mattel's famous plastic couples as religious figures such as Jesus Christ, complete with boxes explaining their intended identities. The 33 dolls in the collection will feature icons from religions including Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam, and Buddhism. These dolls will be featured at an October 11th exhibit in Buenos Aires titled Barbie, the Plastic Religion. A new copy of the Volant hit newsstands today. Be sure to pick up a paper and read about USD graduate who is the youngest city council member and learn about sustainability on campus.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
We'll leave you with the highlights from the USD women's soccer home win against North Dakota.
Have a great night. We'll see you next time.